Thank you guys for coming tonight. My name is Hannah Keever. I'm the principal at Spartanburg Prep School. We are super excited about this partnership that we formed with OST. To start us off, I want to introduce our new middle school assistant principal. Her name is Miss Morrison Shuford. She comes to us with both middle school and high school experience. She's been in North Carolina for the past couple of years, but I'm going to let her tell just a little bit about herself, so you guys can put a name with a or face with a name, and then we will turn it over to the OST.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shakira Morrison Shuford, and as Ms. Keever said, I will be the middle school, high school assistant principal. I'm excited to be back in Spartanburg County. And so a little bit about me, I was born in Hickory, North Carolina, and I moved with my mom to Spartanburg when I was very young. And so I'm a product of Spartanburg District 3. I graduated from Broome High School. I then attended Wofford College, where I graduated in 2010. And
go Centurions, go Centurions. What's going on, Shakira? Glad to have you back.
Hey, Vic, how are you? Thanks. And so there were no jobs, teaching jobs in Spartanburg at the time, and we had reciprocity in North Carolina and Georgia. And so since I have family in North Carolina, I decided to go there and work. And I've been there for the past 11 years. I started as a high school English teacher. I received my master's in gifted education and became a gifted specialist, which is like a instructional coach for gifted and talented teachers as well as students. And then when I worked at that middle school, there was a principal there, Dr. Rydell Harrison, who was amazing. And he really sparked my interest in becoming an administrator again, because that's what I originally wanted to do, but I hadn't seen it done well.
I don't have a touch screen.
And so I joined the North Carolina Principal Fellow Program, in which you serve 4 years in North Carolina, and it pays for your master's in school administration. And so I'm in my last year of that. I'm currently an assistant principal in Rutherford County Schools, and I really wanted to have a position in Spartanburg beginning in August, and I'm so excited and blessed that it came a little early. So I'll be joining you all at the beginning of February, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you, Ms. Keever, and thank you, Ms. Morrison Shuford. Welcome. So glad to have you, and I appreciate you joining us for this call. So for me, my name is Savannah Ray, and I'm actually not with Spartanburg Prep. I am with the Spartanburg Academic Movement and our Spartanburg's Out of School Time Collaborative. So I get to work with many of our wonderful youth serving providers, and you'll get to talk to or hear from those providers in just a second. Before I turn it over to my partner, Megan Smith, who also serves with our Out of School Time Collaborative, I did just want to share what we will be covering today during our time together. And so a welcome, we'll continue to do our welcome. We'll have an overview of the program that we're sharing with you tonight. Then you'll get to hear from all of our partner organizations. There are 6 organizations that will be in front of you from all different types of areas. They'll have about 5 minutes to either talk to you, share with you via video, talk about their programs. We'll talk about how to register really quickly at the end, and then we'll open it up for any questions that you have. So again, happy to have you here. We want to say a huge thank you to Spartanburg Prep for allowing us to partner with your school. And I want to say a huge thank you to our partners who will be providing awesome quality services. So I am going to hand it over to Megan Smith to introduce herself, and we'll continue rolling.
Hey everyone, as Savannah said, my name is Megan Smith, and I have the privilege of working with Savannah and coordinating our out of school time collaborative. You heard Ms. Keever call it OST, that's what we call it for short. And as parents and people who work with youth, we know that our youth's brains are continuing to develop and learn outside of the school hours. And so a couple of months ago, the school approached us and said, hey, we have some ideas about how to improve our after school time for our youth, and we want to bring them in opportunities that we as a school aren't able to provide on our own. And so we were so excited, because this has been an idea of ours from the very beginning, to work with the school and to work with all of our different providers who are each so unique in what they offer and in the different ways that they encourage young people to find what excites them and what they're passionate about, and then also to reinforce what they're learning about in the classroom. And so we jumped at the opportunity to try to bring something together, and rather than doing individual days that, you know, the providers were competing against each other to try to recruit more students than the other, we had the idea of really offering a package programming, so to say, so that all of the youth who participate in this are having the opportunity to work with all of these different organizations. And I myself am a parent of a 6th grader and an 8th grader, not at Spartanburg Prep, but when I put my parent hat on with this, I also work full time. And so it's difficult to try to think about leaving work and then driving my kids to some other opportunity during the school day. But what's beautiful about this is that it's going to be in the school building with the people that you know and trust. You're not having to leave work or whatever it is that you do in the after school area and take them anywhere. That's already taken care of. And they're going to have a really awesome time getting to know all of our different partners. You're going to hear from them in just a minute. But we really believe that with the school, with you as the family, and then with other folks that you're going to hear from in just a minute, when we all surround our young people and our youth and support them in learning and discovering who they are as a person, as a young adult, supporting what they're already learning in school and reinforcing what their teachers are doing, that it's a win-win for all people involved in the process. So we're excited that you're here to learn about this. You're going to hear from each of our partners in just a second, and we'll have time at the very end to address any questions that you all might have. But thanks for taking the time. I know it's been an e-learning day. I've been trying to do e-learning with my kids and my own work from home, so I understand if you're tired. So really, thank you for taking this time. And again, if you could just keep yourself muted, that would be great. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to the bars/e-music group for them to tell you about their organization.
Hello, my name is Mark Everett.
And I'm Compassionate Falls. And I'm Promise Kennedy.
And we host Music Madness. Music Madness is a 12-week music program for middle and high school students.
But it's no ordinary music program, because we believe that we discovered a way of teaching students. We discovered a secret of teaching music to young students. Do you think we should let them know our secret? Why not?
I think y'all worried about the wrong thing. Listen, our secret to teaching young people music is we choose music that they're actually interested in.
So sorry, no Beethoven, Mozart, or Bach, but age-appropriate popular music such as The Best Days of Our Lives by American authors.
I was going to do the intro to that. Go ahead.
The children also get to listen to, learn, and play music that they all enjoy.
So here's what we do. We take the music that they like, they come into the classroom, they get to listen to the music that they like, and we teach them song structure, help them to identify musical symbols and terms, song structures such as verses, chorus, and bridge. We teach them how to count the music so they can kind of know how long the verse and chorus should be. We also help them learn how to play the different instrument sounds in the music and recreate the popular music themselves. And at the end of the 12 weeks, we have a showcase performance that the kids can show their stuff on. I can't tell you the pride of achievement that they demonstrate when they realize that they don't have to stare at the TV, but they can do the songs themselves. So I look forward to getting the kids on these musical instruments.
And also teaching them how to sing. Go easy on me, baby. And also teaching them how to dance.
I don't know what that was, but I think that's just excitement, but she can actually dance. So we want to put it all together and show these kids that they can be the stars that they always dreamed they can be. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, next up, Bloom Upstate.
Good afternoon, Jaguars. I'm Felicia, squad leader with Bloom Upstate, and we're so excited to be a part of this after-school initiative. We are a nonprofit who our mission is to support, mentor, and equip girls ages 8 to 18. We look forward to you guys getting to know us as an organization, as well as us being able to form the relationships with you all. So we have created a video for you guys just to tell you a little bit more about what we do as an organization.
I am smart, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am God's personal favorite.
Being a part of Bloom means a lot to me. It helps me release what I feel inside to others that care about my future, my current life, and what's going on in it. Bloom has impacted me in a good way. It helps me think ahead of the present. It helps me better explain myself to people. Why would you tell others about Bloom? I would tell others about Bloom because it is extra fun. It gives kids more exposure to others and people because kids might have trust issues and anxiety and things that go on in their home. They have programs that can help with that. And that's why I would tell others about Bloom.
Being a part of Bloom means to me is that I get to express my feelings, and if I get a bad grade, they'll tell me to try to get it up. How has Bloom and our weekly girls circle impacted me? It has impacted me good because we get to tell everybody what has happened, and we get to do fun stuff with our friends and them. Why would you tell other girls to join Bloom? I would tell other girls to join Bloom because you get to express your feelings and you get to do fun activities and give back to the homeless.
All right, so thank you, Bloom, for that video. We loved hearing from the voices of the girls as well. I will just make a note that while our Bloom Upstate program is for girls, we will have another provider who will be working with the boys. So don't worry if you have a child that won't be participating in Bloom, we'll be pairing it so that while the girls are in Bloom, we'll have the boys in a different program. So next up, we will have Bruh Mentor.
Thank you, Savannah. And I want to thank OST and Spartanburg Prep for the opportunity. Brothers Restoring Urban Hope, also known as Bruh Mentor. We're a group mentor organization based right here in Spartanburg County. We are a partnering group mentor organization, and our mission is to restore the urban community through group mentorship, leadership training, and spiritual guidance. The specific program that I'm going to talk to you all about today is our sports and mentoring program. Our sports and mentoring program is a program that that basically pairs our network of mentors with a specific sports activity. So for this particular cohort, we'll be focusing on basketball. And we've partnered with Jay Free, which is he's a USC Upstate alumni, Hall of Famer, and standout at USC Upstate. And Titus Miller, he's also a Spartanburg native who went off to college and now is training in basketball. So it will be a basketball focused mentorship program. How do we use basketball and then bring group mentoring and leadership training and spiritual guidance? We basically, for the first part of the class or the session, we will bring in a keynote speaker, we'll bring in a facilitator, or we'll bring in somebody to lead a specific leadership workshop. Some of those workshops include SAT workshops, financial aid workshops. We've had some mental health forums. We've had college tours in the past. We've even had some folks come through and talk to us about the importance of being drug-free. We did some financial literacy sessions. We've had some overall character development sessions, along with confidence building sessions and soft skills sessions. That happens out at the front end of the program. And then we couple that with some fundamental training through basketball. As you can see, we've served a little over 200 youth through this program just this past year. And what it does too is once they're in our sports and mentoring cohorts, they're actually going to be able to be opened up to our community programming. So when we do community service projects, when we do our MLK Day leadership camp, when we do our field trips that we do, we've been to several NBA games throughout last year. We took about 100 kids to Atlanta for the summer basketball league over the summer. Just last, well, I guess that was about 2 weeks ago, we just came back from the USC Upstate basketball game. So even outside of just being a part of the cohort right there at their school, they're opened up to some of our community programs through our sports and mentoring programs. Right here, our Rotary Club took our kids out to the USC Upstate basketball game. And we have one of the presidents at Founders Bank talking to our youth about some financial literacy. So it evolves. We just use the platform of sports to really touch our youth. This is co-ed. One thing that we saw and we wanted to capitalize on is that a lot of our kids are in sports. And what better way to reach them through the sports that they love best, and not only giving them quality training from a positive youth development standpoint, but also giving them quality training in who we bring in to do the training for basketball. So that's a huge piece. If you look up Titus Miller and Jay Free, and you look up their sessions, they've worked with some of the premier athletes. That training costs a lot of money. So for some of our athletes that can't afford that kind of development and training, to get the overall character development and building and be exposed to some of the athletes throughout our network, some that they might know. We have former pros come back and speak. We've had Landon Cohen. We've had Ben Hall. We've had a Clemson standout, Woodrow Dantzler, come and speak to our youth. So we basically use our network to really influence and impact those kids. I think when I was young, we always looked up to athletes. And even when you see athletes in this area go pro, everybody asks, what are they going to do to give back to the community? Well, through our sports and mentoring program, we want to let all of our youth know, and even our athletes that made it pro or didn't make it pro, we just want to let our kids know that they can go pro at anything. This is our quote from our program director, Justin Kelly. He said, as I have overcome the obstacles that life has brought me, I find every way possible to be in a position to encourage and light a fire under today's youth. That's what we aspire to do. So we're looking forward to the partnership. We were at Spartanburg Day this summer, so we're looking forward to working with the youth and providing some hope where we can. So thank you.
Thank you, Vic, and thank you, Bruh Mentor. So our next group will be the Girl Scouts of South Carolina, Mountains to Midlands.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica, and Lauren is also on this call, and we represent the Girl Scouts of South Carolina, Mountains to Midlands. Our council covers 22 counties in South Carolina, from Greenville to Spartanburg to Columbia. And Lauren is actually our program manager of outdoor programs and camps. And I also help oversee programs across our 22 counties. We're really excited to share out about our Girl Scout programs. We offer all types of programs, from encouraging girls to take action in their communities through service projects, to attending summer camps at our daytime and overnight camps. So we're really excited to bring these programs to you. And as you can see, our mission, Girl Scouting builds girls of courage, competence, and character who make the world a better place. So we really try to center our programs on that mission, which is all part of the Girl Scout leadership experience. It's what makes Girl Scouting a really unique experience for girls in our community. All of our programs are girl-led. We want girls to be excited about the programs they are experiencing and have input on the activities. All of our programs are hands-on for girls of all ages, including middle school. We want girls to be empowered to explore, and all of our programs are based on cooperative learning and collaboration. We really want girls to bond through this leadership experience. I'm going to pass this over to Laura now, who's going to share a brief overview of the topics and examples of activities we cover in Girl Scouts.
Hi there. My name is Lauren, and I'm based here in Spartanburg, so I'm familiar with Spartanburg Prep, so I'm excited to be a part of this. We have activities based on our 4 pillars. So the first pillar is life skills, and we'll be working on topics like civic engagement and healthy living and communication skills. So we'll work on a couple badges. The Girl Scout way, of course, we need to learn about traditions, and sorry, and we'll host a Founders Day party to get everybody acquainted with Girl Scout values and beliefs. We'll work on the Eating for You badge, which will develop some healthy no cook snacks, and everybody loves to cook and collaborate on some healthy items. We'll also work on our book artist badge. So we'll create our own book by binding it, and we'll create a scrapbook to hold all of our memories. Our next activity, we're going to work on our entrepreneurship pillar. So this will build business skills that girls need to know to achieve their goals and to set goals for themselves. So we're going to work on budgeting, basics of saving and spending, and creating a personal budget so that we can possibly afford something that we want. We're going to work on marketing research. We're going to explore very popular brands now. That's a very big thing, is to have your own personal brand. So we're going to create something that's kind of going to showcase what makes us unique. We're also going to work on a business creator. So we're going to team up and invent a prototype of something we'd like to sell, maybe under our brand, or working together to meet something in the business market that we've never seen before. On our next pillar, we have STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And girls love STEM. It's very innate to us. We work on fixing problems. And so we're going to work on the space science researcher. And so we're going to create and learn how to use a star wheel, which is great because the clear skies in the winter are, we'll be able to read the stars. We're going to work on a special agent badge. And so it's based on fingerprinting and CSI, and there's a lot of great TV shows that spark our interest, but getting hands-on experience with it. And then finally, animal helper. We won't actually have any animals on site, but we're going to make some toys for our local animals and donate it to a shelter and learn how those animals can help us too. So that'll be a fun one. And then our final pillar, what I love best, save the best for last, is outdoor. And so we're going to get outside and enjoy nature, and we're going to develop appreciation and protect the outdoors. And so we're going to look at trees and the life cycle, and we're going to capture that on canvases. And it's wonderful to see the leaves leave, but we love to see them come back. We're going to work on our outdoor art apprentice, and we're going to do some mosaics with leaves. So we'll learn about that. And then trailblazing. This is for camping skills. So we're going to do an outdoor challenge featuring skills like knots, which are important if you have to tie something down or take it with you. You can tie it to your and make a little shoulder strap or something. And then finally, the Girl Scout leadership experience has outcomes. We found in all of our research that girls that participate in the leadership experience gain a strong sense of self. They're able to, resolve conflict and feel good about themselves. They gather positive values. They are challenge seeking. They don't worry about, meeting problems. They know they can solve them. They develop healthy relationships where they can communicate with others and go back to challenge seeking. Sometimes we all got to work together. And then community problem solving. We're going to tackle some problems in our community with outdoors and STEM and stuff like that. So we'll be able to, see these outcomes after the end of the 12 weeks.
Thank you, Jessica and Lauren, and thank you, Girl Scouts. Appreciate that overview. Well, next up, we have the Spartanburg Science Center.
And while Mary's coming on, I will say also, since Girl Scouts serves girls during that time, the boys will also be with Brock, who we just heard from.
All right, good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Levins. I taught middle school science in public schools for 43 years, as well as other subjects, other grades. So this has been a real love of mine to come to the Science Center. The Spartanburg Science Center has been here 43 years in Spartanburg, and we have been gradually extending our age groups that we work with from 4K all the way up to adults and our lifelong learners. And so we're real excited to be able to offer some classes at Spartanburg Prep. We had the pleasure of working with them this summer, and it was just a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that also. As you see on that one slide, we go all the way from our 4-year-olds even up through 16 to 20-year-olds with our new aviation program. And we're very much looking forward to finding folks that would like to do that. We are the largest provider of educational programming to the Boys and Girls Club in the upstate. We are in all 7 school districts in Spartanburg County, as well as some in Cherokee and Union, and we just love science. We do have an animal room, and we have 40+ animals. During COVID, we had to shut down to the public, but we never could shut down because these guys needed to be fed and taken care of. And we have a group of people that they love animals, as you can see. So with our summer camps and just coming by to see us, they have their favorites. We do have new exhibits coming to the Science Center. We have some currently. These exhibits all follow the discovery method, which is the way, which simply means it's the way that a human being learns. If you all have young children, you know if you hand them something, they are going to turn it over, they're going to drop it, they're going to see if it bounced, they probably will even taste it. And so we like to structure what we do at the appropriate level where you are doing something, not just a sit and get. We have summer camps. This past summer, even with COVID, we were able to have more than 20 summer camps. And they are all here at the Science Center, which is at the Chapman Cultural Center. We overlook Barnett Park. So that may be something down the road that you might like to think of. And we do offer scholarships. We also have a big robotics grouping. We have robotics teams, and we host the first Lego League for 6-year-olds to 9-year-olds every March. This is the brand new Contact Media Center that is at the Spartanburg Science Center. We will open this February 1st. It will be the home of the project place. If your child is in middle school and they have to do a project and they need a trifold board, they need some help from some of our interns who are Wofford students, you can come up here totally, bring up the project, and we'll see. We will not do it for you, but we will certainly provide materials and help you to make a great presentation to go along with your great science. We also have gained extra space in the Millikan Learning Room. This Millikan Learning Room will allow us to extend and hold classes for older children and out of the center for whatever they would like to have. And we're very excited about these 2 new partners. So what are you going to do for us? I'm sure. My staff, which is made up of Wofford Bonner Scholars, we will be excited to come to Spartanburg Prep. And what we're going to be focusing on mainly is the scientific method and the engineering skills. Now, that means that they are the same. Those skills are the same in grades 6, 7, and 8. So we will be working on projects, and we will be working on engineering, drawing, designing, building, tearing it down, making it better. And so we will be taking you through things that you can use all the way through high school and into college. These are basic skills. They do appear in the South Carolina standards, But if you like science, and it can be any kind of science, it can be biology, earth science, chemistry, physics, we will take you through doing all sorts of science, but understanding that there is a basic way to do it. And if you learn this basic way, science becomes nothing but fun. This is our current staff. These May and Grayson are Wofford Bonner Scholars. Grayson is currently majoring in physics. May is a biology environmental major, and Will goes to Spartanburg Community College in mechatronics. So you are going to get the very best of a wide swath of scientific areas. What we want you to do is to understand very clearly, and I'm sure your science teacher said it a million times, that science and engineering practices, there is a process and skills to do it. We're going to help you with that. But along the way, we are going to add the engineering skills. So if you want to be a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, or even a chemical engineer, we will be able to show you that they're all based in the same ways to do an experiment. And I know you know the steps of the engineering process. You've probably heard them. We hope to get all the way down to actually creating and designing a project that you may leave at the school as your legacy to that school, something that anybody in the school can work with, but you did the engineering, the research, and the design on it. So that is our goal. For weeks 1 and 2, we're going to be giving you a lot of things to do, looking at models and deciding what are the best questions to ask for you to gain the knowledge you need. In weeks 3 and 4, we want you to take an idea, develop a model for it, use that model. If it doesn't work exactly the way you want, then refine it and make it work the way you want it to work based on an idea that you may have. In weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8, we are going to have you test several hypotheses. We're going to throw them out at you. I want to know the best way. We're going to lead you through the best way to check a hypothesis. As you all, I'm sure, know, hypotheses are not right or wrong. They are either supported or rejected, and rejected's not a bad thing because you always learn from something you don't know. So we are going to have you do that, and then we're going to have you develop the most appropriate way to represent your data. And also add a whole lot of safety in there as you begin to work with some high-level science materials. In week 10, don't jump, but we are going to give you a little bit of metrics. We're going to talk about how to use the metric units and how to very easily convert them, collect and analyze data, and we're going to have fun with that. And again, we're going to be talking about looking at models and investigations and what are those relationships. All of this sounds really hard, but I know the students in 6th, 7th, and 8th, they know what this is, and now we're going to put you to work. In week 11 and 12, we are going to give you a scientific argument. It won't be as complex as what came first, the chicken or the egg, but we will give you a scientific argument, let you choose a side, and have you come up with what best supports your argument for your point of view. And we will help you do that with data, which will carry you through almost any subject in high school and all the way through college. And we have a project, but we're not revealing it yet. We are going to let you kind of design it. So you just have to guess what we're going to do. We are very excited about this. You have students, your interns that'll be working with you are majoring in science as we speak at Wofford and at Spartanburg Community College. And I think that you will find they are an amazing bunch of young people. And I get to drop back too and come back and work with you. So we're very much looking forward to this. And I wanted to give a shout out to Victor because we've got to work with his group and have some of his aviation students with us. And it's awesome. And if you're turning 16 or some of you all get close, look us up because you will fly and you will really fly. So the Science Center is looking to do new things. Spartanburg Prep is one of those, and we hope to see you there.
No, and I want to give kudos to the Science Center for giving our Connected Scholar an opportunity to pursue an opportunity with the airport. So thank you so much for getting him involved with the aviation program. He's still talking about it to this day.
I love it. Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Mary. Thank you to the Spartanburg Science Center. And we love that several of the partners here are working together. So that's part of our collaborative, is that these program providers aren't working in isolation, but they really do connect and have relationships. And that makes this process even better for our students when we're collaborating. So we have one more partner that we are going to introduce you to before we do a little bit of wrap up and have an opportunity for any questions that you might have. So I will hand it over to Speaking Down Barriers.
Thanks so much, Savannah. I was just listening to all these programs thinking, how can I get to be able to go through all of these? Perhaps I could take some time off work here because I would really love, especially some music, some singing. I need some lessons. But our program for Speaking Down Barriers is using the arts as a mental health strategy. Speaking Down Barriers started about 8 years ago as poetry and conversation. Folks just wanted to be able to tell their story and then have the opportunity to share that in dialogue with others. And over time, it has moved to Speaking Down Barriers. And our mission is equity for all. Two things support that mission. One is ending oppression, and the other one is valuing everyone. And you might be thinking, so what? What does that got to do with kids? Well, you might not know that while we say hello to each other, many places around the world, the greeting is, are the children well? So when I asked myself about the children in Spartanburg and seeing the statistics for mental health, it made me think, no, the children are not well in Spartanburg. And so what can Speaking Down Barriers do to be a part of that? And so I'm excited to share with you with the other folks who are on the team. But I'm Davlin, and I'm the executive director. I have a master's in marriage and family therapy, which is a mental health focus, as well as being a poet and painter. But I'm going to pass it over to the celestial poet to share with us. Next.
Hey guys, I'm CP. I've been teaching for about 8 years now. But for us, our learning objectives, we're going to be helping the students develop their voice and be able to advocate for themselves. In that, where we go teaching them and reinforcing their boundaries and giving them go-to phrases. We'll also help them learn to identify and process emotions through poetry, visual art, and performance. Allow them to be mindful and self-aware so that when they come into different situations, they can respond accordingly. Sometimes take a breath, think before they speak, and then advocate for themselves in that way. And lastly, learn to use art to communicate on social issues. As we know, there's a lot of things going on in our community right now for injustices and other things. So we'll give them the tools in order to be able to speak on subject matter that is close to their hearts and do so using creative outlets. And I'm going to pass it over to Max Litt, who is also one of our facilitators for Speaking Down Barriers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Max Litt, or Jason Franklin. I am the facilitator, one of the facilitators with Speaking Down Barriers, and also the social media strategist. And CP touched on a couple of things that we will do to, as part of the program to the kids there. But as a small rundown, we're going to do that through poetry. We have a connection with the artist community in the Greenville and Spartanburg areas. So one of the things that we do is connect artwork and mainly poetry through our initiatives. We're also going to include painting or visual art so that those who may not be wordsmiths, as it were, but do have a aptitude for art or drawing, painting, or things like that, they'll be able to express themselves as well. There's going to be some songwriting. So if there's anyone out there who has musical interest, they'll be able to participate in our program as well. And of course, who doesn't like games, we'll be bringing that into the space as well. But to just show an example of what we will be offering through poetry, I am going to share a poem. It's going to be a short one, and it is called The Light. And this is basically just going to give an idea, not just of the poetry that they may be hearing from us, but also the ways we'll be teaching them to express themselves through poetry if that's what they choose to do as well. So here is the light. There is a light that shines always. I'm still trying to figure out how. It must be a divine light, sharing souls as it shines. What is its source? I think it's love. It has to be, because nothing shines brighter than love, and her light never dims. So that's just a small example of what they may experience hearing as far as poetry goes in our program, but we will also be teaching those interested ones how to write their own poetry, how to express themselves through that, how to find out what their message is, and a few other things as well. And I will turn it back over to Dabbling.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Savannah.
All right, thank you so much. Speaking down barriers, we're excited to hear from all of our partners. And so that wraps up our introductions, overviews, program overviews from everyone who is a part of this. I did want to mention, I'm sure that if you're here, you probably have received a flyer, but I just wanted to share a reminder that this program will start February the 7th, and our goal is that it will run for 12 weeks. So we'll start on a Monday and we'll go through the first week of May. We also would like to have a showcase at the end of that. So you've heard a few of our providers talk about projects. So after we end that program, we would love to have something to show for what all of our youth have been working on over this 12 weeks. This will be Monday through Thursday from 3 to 5 o'clock p.m. And again, if you're signing up for this program, the idea is not that you're picking and choosing, but that you get to experience all of these things throughout the week. So we're excited to start this off. I don't think I have, or yes, registration deadline is the 31st. And hopefully right now, if Megan hasn't already done so, she is putting that link in the chat box for you to have easy access to the registration link so that if you are interested and you are anywhere between 6th through 9th grade, you can partake in this program. So I know we're trying to keep it to 7 o'clock, and I want to make sure that we have enough time for any questions that you have. So I am going to say thank you so much again. Megan, I don't know if you have any words before I hit it back over to Spartanburg Prep to say any final words that they have before we open it up to families, youth that have questions about this particular after-school program.
Nothing really particular to add, just how excited I am and how I wish my children went to Spartanburg Prep after hearing all of this. How I wish I had these opportunities myself as a youth. So yep, we'll send it over to the school now to address some of the payment, how that happens, how do parents apply for scholarships. I've already had a question in the chat about that. So we'll send it over to the school. You're welcome to put a question in the chat if you'd like. That might be an efficient way to do it, but we'll let the school answer some of those questions now.
Hey guys, coming from Spartanburg Prep. So basically you just fill out the registration and we will contact you. Don't forget, I know that they put something in the chat for you to reach out through the link. You also can find it on the sheet that was given to you via email. You copy and paste it, but we will reach out to you as soon as you register. I do want to thank, on behalf of Spartanburg Prep, the Spartanburg Academic Movement, and also all of the clubs and organizations that have taken their time to do this for our kids. It really means a lot, and we are very excited to partner and join with you. So we hope you have a great night. And there's not any more questions.
I will say one last thing. We've put a registration deadline of January 31st on there, just so that can give our folks a week to prepare and get ready for that. So we'll continue to push this out. We have recorded this entire thing, so we're going to send it to the school as well. And if they have your emails, they can send this too. I know some of you jumped in halfway through, so you'll be able to have that information. But thank you all for being here. We are super excited. I hope that you are too. Share this information with your students and your kids. And if you have any other questions, that point of contact is the school, and we're in constant contact with them, so we can get you any answers that they might not have as well.
Thank you again, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Night.